set.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I have been asked a lot of questions about how I manage my athletes, and I typically have about 30 to 35 jumpers every year. Every year I've been able to develop athletes at a state and regional level. This year my jumps team through milesplit.com has ranked my long jump group second overall in the state, the high jump group 7 in the state, and also my triple jump group number 5. It's an honor to be at that level, and I've been striving to get that level and higher, and my goal is to continue. But the main thing is to present to you guys how I manage the athletes. Now, the first thing is understanding the calendar. You want to use the summertime to develop an athlete, a dedicated year-round track and field athlete. Many times coaches and athletes, you have an athlete that plays multiple sports, which is fine. However, to be able to adapt to a coach's philosophy, it takes a year-round program. Now, obviously, there is a bias with that because there are certain sports such as soccer, basketball, football, where playing year-round can actually be a problem. The reason why playing a sport year-round could be a problem, using the same muscles all the time. It comes down to when an athlete is moving in incorrect patterns, their body will then break down and eventually succumb to injury because they have yet to learn how to properly utilize his or her body. Track and field is a sport where the body is the apparatus. So understanding how to land and load, understanding how to run, how to stop, how to change directions, this is the part of the sport. So track and field year round is not going to damage an athlete. It's going to actually make an athlete better as long as the coach understands the athletic calendar. So in the summertime, this is where an athlete will be doing movements very similar to a boot camp. It's about hip mobility. It's about stability, lunges, little to no running depending on the event they're doing, but when it comes to jumpers, it's very little to no running. The main focus is to have an athlete be able to handle 45 minutes of time under tension. Time under tension basically means just physical stress. When an athlete is, doing lunges, squats, push-ups, crunches, the physical body needs to be moving that whole time. So then when you do get to a competition, they're able to handle 45 minutes to an hour of stress. Moving next is to the fall. The fall is where we move into more jump training, more plyometrics. Nothing advanced. It'll just be jump squats. Maybe it'll be a lunge to a jump, or just more dynamic movements, or maybe jump training in the sand. Things like that, really light impact movements that advance the athlete's movement. You could add in some light bounding, but at this time it's more focused on just the movements and having the athletes be conditioned. Here is where you can start adding in running and having them run and testing now their cardiovascular endurance now that you have their muscular endurance set up from the summer. Then you want to move into the winter season. Many athletes look at the winter season as a way to hit a mark, to be able to go to college and so on. This part of the season, it's just training. You're going to be doing your training during a track meet. It's a competitive practice. If you are hitting great marks at this time, that's wonderful. But the main thing is I typically have athletes go from a shorter approach. We'll be jumping in triple jump with flats, going anywhere between 10 and 6-step approach, and that's it. And if they're conditioned correctly, you're going to see some great marks from a short approach. My focus with having an athlete do a short approach is very simple. Short approach allows you to create the amount of power you need to jump far because you have more time on ground. As you speed up, you have less time on ground and you need to be able to produce the same amount of force within less time. So to keep it easier on the athlete is to be able to do a short approach when it comes to long jump, high jump, and triple jump, to allow them to be able to create that force. Then when you get into season, the main focus is to maintain. You're not trying to get stronger. You're trying to maintain and become more efficient within your movements. Your timing, your explosive ability, all these things are going to fall into place when your timing becomes more effective. My main focus over the whole year is in the summer, boot camp, physical endurance, muscular training. In the fall, more advanced training, more conditioning with running and so on. Then you get to the sprint work, competitive practice in the winter. In season is in season. Then you take 4 to 6 weeks completely off in the summertime. There is national track and field championships, the New Balance. Those are great events to go to, but you're going to have to make sure you manage your calendar correctly, because if you end up going to these events that are later in June, July, even August, you're going to end up running into a point to where you're going to have to still give yourself that 4 to 6 weeks break to allow your body to recover and for the aches and pains to go away and just to reset. If you have any further questions, please send me an email at info@KeinanBriggs.com. Remember to click that subscribe button. I have new videos coming out every Tuesday and Thursday. For very detailed and exclusive information, make sure you visit KeinanBriggs.com.